Hello friends, welcome to Poonam Dua classes. Today we are going to discuss famous diasporic writer Jhumpa Lahiri. Please do watch the whole video with a pen and paper in your hand. Keep noting down all the important points. She is a very important writer from literature competitive exam point of view. We will know about Jhumpa Lahiri and two of her most famous work, that is Interpreter of Maladies and The Namesake. This is her full name, Nilanjana Sudeshna Jhumpa Lahiri. She is an American writer, American author known for her short stories, novels, essays in English, and many more things. And she has been recently writing in Italian language as well. So Italian has also been her specialty recently, and she had written diasporic novels basically. Diasporic novels जिसमें कहीं ना कहीं एक रिफ्लेक्शन नजर आता है व्हेन यू गो टू सम अदर कंट्री, उस कंट्री में जाकर किस तरीके का आइसोलेशन फील होता है एंड हाउ यू आर सपोज टू एडजस्ट योरसेल्फ. दिस इज बेसिक सब्जेक्ट. Diasporic novels and stories basically are written by her, in which she takes the readers across the nation to visualize the life of a migrant from a developing nation to a developed nation. As a writer, her representation of women characters are also very realistic and very deeply moving. Let us know about her major awards. These can also be asked in question form. Pulitzer Prize winning author Jhumpa Lahiri. A very prestigious writer she is, and is celebrated for her depiction of immigrants and Indian American life, yet her poignant stories also capture universal theme of longing, loneliness and barriers of communication. Let us discuss her awards. 1999. She got the prestigious O. Henry Award for Short Story Interpreter of Melody. Short story collections है basically. 99 itself, she got Penn Hemingway Award, Best Fiction Debut of the Year for Interpreter of Melodies again. And 2000, she got Pulitzer Prize for Fiction for her debut, Interpreter of Melodies. तो आपको ये सारे awards याद रखने हैं so that you are able to appear for any questions related to these awards in your exams. One more very honored thing about her, that she has been selected by the President Barack Obama for a prestigious position on the Committee of Arts and Humanities. Along with 5 other members, she was selected in the year 2010. So you need to remember the name of the Committee on the Arts and the Humanities, and the year as well, and the contemporary president as well at that point of time. We will cover 2 of her work, Interpreter of Maladies and The Namesake. Interpreter of Maladies 1999 and The Namesake 2003. Both written by Jhumpa Lahiri, very prestigious works, very famous, very popular works by her. Let us know some facts about it before moving on to the content. As we know, this won the Pulitzer Prize, Hemingway Foundation Penn Award in 2000, and one very prestigious, very popular fact is that it was 15 million copies that was sold for this book worldwide. And not only this, it was chosen as the New Yorker's best debut of the year, as well as is on Oprah Winfrey's top 10 book list. Now let us move for the content. There are some stories. In total, 9 short stories are there. And these stories are about the lives of Indians and Indian Americans specifically, who are caught between their roots, that is India, and the new world, that is of course America. The 9 stories are work of literary realism, I'll say, split between the immigrants' experience in America and contemporary life basically. हमारी जो टाइटुलर स्टोरी है दैट इज द इंटरप्रेटर ऑफ मेलोडीज, दैट इज ऑफ वन डे. The titular story chronicles a day in life of an American family during a vacation in India, visiting tourist sites with their Indian guide. Let us understand the story with the help of the characters. The first character is Mr. Kapasi, a middle-aged man जो कि एक tourist guide हैं, जिसको hire किया गया by Mr. Das. Mr. Das जो कि एक doctor हैं. So this person, Mr. Kapasi, has been hired to take the Das family to the Sun Temple at Connaught. आप सबने सुना होगा Sun Temple at Konark is a very famous place in India. The family includes a daughter, Tina, and two sons, Ronnie and Bobby, and of course the wife of Mr. Das, Mrs. Das. So this is actually just one story of Interpreter of Maladies, the titular story that we have discussed, but many of Lahiri's characters in these all stories face the challenge of adapting to an unfamiliar culture. And the major issues that she discussed, the major themes are the immigrant experience or assimilation, marriage and love, communication issues, and parent-child relationships. Next comes The Namesake 2003. The Namesake 2003 is a debut novel by American author Jhumpa Lahiri, and it was originally published in The New Yorker and was later expanded to a full-length novel. And it explores many of the same emotional and cultural themes as Lahiri's Pulitzer Prize-winning short story collection Interpreter of Melodies. A film adaptation of the novel was released in United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and India in March 2006. The novel moves between the events in these cities, Calcutta, Boston, and New York City. The story begins with these two people, Ashok and Ashima Ganguly. This couple leaves India and settle in Central Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Ashok, जो कि एक MIT student है, he does not face that many difficulties as Ashima faces. Ashima struggles through language and cultural barriers as well, and as well as her own fears are there as she delivers her first baby alone. Had the delivery taken place in Calcutta, she would have had the baby at home surrounded by a large Indian family. The delivery is successful, but the new parents learn that they cannot leave the hospital before giving their son a legal name. Indian families generally do have the traditional naming processes. So the same is there. The traditional naming processes in the family is to have an elder who will give the baby a new name, and the parents wait for the letter from Ashima's grandmother that she will give the name to the baby. The letter, however, never arrives, and soon after the grandmother dies as well. Bengali culture calls for a child to have two names, a pet name to be called by family at home and a good name to be used in public. Ashok suggests the name Gogol to his son, Nikolai Gogol, who is a very famous Russian author. Ashok suggests the name of Gogol in honor of the famous Russian author Nikolai Gogol to be the baby's pet name, and they use this name on the birth certificate. As a young man, Ashok had survived a train derailment with many fatalities, and he had been reading a short story collection by Gogol just before the accident. That memory is actually retained in the mind of Ashok, and that name he gives to his son. He was, after the accident, he was lying in the rubble of the accident, and he clutched a single page of the story, The Overcoat. Overcoat, which is actually the most famous story by Nikolai Gogol. So, though the pet name has a deep significance for the baby's parents, it is never intended to be used by anyone other than family. They decide on Nikhil to be his good name. So, pet name Gogol and Nikhil, the good name. Let us try to understand the theme of this novel. We get to see the conflict in relationship between couples, families, and friends, and through these relationships, she explores the idea of isolation and identity, both individual and cultural, and they are the reflections of the issues related to get migrated to a developed country. In next part of the video, we will go for some important MCQs related to the works of Jhumpa Lahiri. So I hope कि आपने इस वीडियो को अच्छे से देख लिया है, समझ लिया और सब कुछ नोट कर लिया. Whatever has been told in this video, the questions will be related to that knowledge in the next video. Please do not forget to share and subscribe the channel and provide your valuable feedback in comments. You may join the online classes to cover all the topics in detail, and you can click the link in description to have a query. Thanks for watching and best of luck for your exams.